Hi everyone, Spencer here, founder of Longtail Pro and blogger over at nichepursuits.com. I wanted to welcome you to this replay of the webinar that I gave last week. Unfortunately, the recording did not work out properly, so I'm re-recording this. So it's not a live presentation, but it is a recording of the presentation I went over during the webinar. By way of introduction, the presentation is about Longtail Platinum and advanced keyword research. So I'm going to dig into some advanced tactics and specifically ways that you need to be analyzing keywords in order to rank well in Google. And then I'm going to show the new features for Longtail Pro, which are now called Longtail Platinum. The upgraded features are. Before I jump into that, I wanted to let people get to know me a little bit better. I showed what I've been up to lately. Of course, over the summer, sometimes people go on vacation a little bit. I happen to go on vacation during September. My wife and I actually made a trip to the island of Kauai, and here's me reading my book outside our hotel there. Absolutely beautiful. We've never been to Hawaii. In fact, we've really never taken any big vacation. We've been married. It will be 10 years this December. And so this was our big vacation we've been planning for a number of years to celebrate our 10th anniversary. So that's outside our resort there, my wife and I. While we were there, we went hiking a lot. This is on a hike that we did along the Nepali coast, the north side of the island, and went to a waterfall that was absolutely beautiful. As you can see, the ocean colors are amazing there, and the coastline is stunning as well. We had a lot of fun, did some zip lining, a great zip line tour. We did, I believe it was 7 different zip lines, and as you can see, again, the scenery is amazing. Had a lot of fun doing that. In addition to vacation, I've actually been working out quite a bit. I run frequently. I've done, 2 different half marathons this year, and this picture was actually taken last year. It was just from a short sprint triathlon that I did, but I liked my little pose. They got me in action there. So, and then I also did a full marathon in October of this year, 2012, and just did a 10-mile race 2 days ago. So I'm still running. Hopefully I can stay in shape. The winter's always the hard time of year to do that with the holidays, so hopefully I can keep it up. Anyways, to be honest, that's not really where I've been spending most of my time. Really, I have been working quite a bit on Longtail Pro and converting that or adding additional features to it to turn it into Longtail Platinum. And that's what I want to talk about today. And in fact, on the webinar, I gave people the chance to vote on their favorite logo. There it is in a platinum color. There it is in the standard gold. And then in black, which I do like a lot, but I'm not sure whether or not it goes well with the platinum name. So that is still up for debate. The platinum, gold, or black. So leave a comment if you want to let me know what your favorite one is there. It's still up for debate. However, before I dig into demonstrating the software itself, I do want to go over the importance of keyword research. And as anyone that is building sites knows, especially if they ever hope to get any traffic from Google, that keyword research really is the foundation of any website. And there's a couple of different factors that go into play, but search query relevance is the #1 ranking factor. You need to know what people are typing into Google, those search queries, so that Google can know where to put you within their index. In fact, relevance is more important than authority. And maybe that's a debatable topic, but the first factor you need to have is relevance, so it's more important. And I demonstrated this with a blog post that I did about a year ago, I think, where I tried to rank for the phrase "Spencer likes honeycombs," which is indeed a true statement. And yes, it's a bit of a joke. I knew at the time that nobody's searching for that term, Spencer likes honeycombs. But what I did is I searched for that term in Google before I wrote the blog post, and I showed that there actually were some what would be considered authoritative sites, either high page rank or pages with lots of links or domains with high authority that were ranking for that phrase. But none of them were really relevant to the phrase Spencer likes honeycombs. They weren't targeting that specific keyword. So I knew that if I just mentioned it in my blog post, I could rank very quickly. And I did that. Within about 5 or 10 minutes of posting my blog post, Niche Pursuits was #1 for the phrase Spencer likes honeycombs, outranking all these authoritative sites and pages with a brand new blog post. And so I want you to consider that because it can make a big difference in where you rank if you choose the wrong keyword versus the right keywords. And just a minor statement here that the best way to target a specific keyword, of course, is to mention that keyword in your page title. So just by making one small change in your keyword choice really can determine where you rank in Google. Even if the content on your page is essentially the same, if you don't think about and consider how competitive the keywords are that you're using, you may not rank anywhere. Whereas if you do the proper research and find that low competitive keyword, again, even if your content essentially stays the same on your page, by just changing your page title, you could dramatically increase the traffic coming from Google. And Google really hasn't changed the relevancy factor. Yes, they've changed Panda. There's been updates with Penguin, EMD, which is the exact match domain, and other updates, and they'll continue to update their algorithm to rank sites. But the fact remains that the most important way to rank in Google is, of course, to have that relevant keyword on your page. If you want to be found in Google, you really do need to think about what people are searching for. And so the wrong page titles and keywords really are missed traffic. Like I explained before, you may not even have to change how you write your articles very much. You simply need to tweak your page titles, do the proper research in order to get that traffic that really is searching for what you're writing about. But if you're not using those keywords, they'll never find you. Now, I want to dive into Longtail Platinum because it specifically is programmed to to target those relevancy factors that I just went over. Longtail Platinum is essentially Longtail Pro, the standard version that many of you are familiar with, plus some new Platinum features. And these new Platinum features that are available right now in the beta are the ability to save your favorite keywords, the ability to calculate average keyword competitiveness for any keyword, and the ability to view keyword competitiveness for URLs on the competitor analysis. And I'm going to demonstrate this so it makes sense. And I do want to clarify that even though Longtail Platinum is in beta, there is still the standard Longtail Pro version. The standard Longtail Pro is not going anywhere. You will always be able to decide whether you want to purchase Longtail Pro or Longtail Platinum. There'll be two different routes that you can go. So you can always have the one-time purchase, and I still suspect that most people are going to just purchase Longtail Pro. However, there will be some people that want to take their keyword research to the next level, and the Platinum version is for them. So the standard, we're still making lots of updates to the standard Longtail Pro version, and some of those that we just made are lots of additional SEO Moz data in the competitor analysis, the ability to fetch Bing title competition in addition to Google title competition, and an overall improved layout for keyword research. So now let's go ahead and do a quick demonstration of the beta features. Okay, I've opened up Longtail Platinum in the beta version, and first of all, you may notice if you've used Longtail Pro that there is a slightly different layout. the campaigns are no longer along the left-hand side here. We've put that up top with just a drop-down box, and you simply add a new campaign here. Title that as you always would, create campaign. Then you're able to input seed keywords here. And I'm going to just input a few here, just off the top of my head. Okay, that's just a few keywords there. And you are still able, of course, to check for domain availability. And you're also able to select either Google title competition, or newly added is the Bing title competition. And the reason we added Bing is A, because it tends to be a little bit faster than Google. And B, Google, if you're pulling lots of title competition on, say, more than 200 keyword results or so, Google tends to start returning those results slower and can often rate limit you on how much data you're pulling back. Bing, on the other hand, does not do that. So you can often pull back more data more quickly. Yes, the numbers are going to be a little bit different. Bing has a smaller index, so the title competition overall is going to be lower, but still, relatively speaking, you can tell if there's a low or high title competition using Bing. So you might want to take a look at that and see if that fits into your keyword research strategy. And then, of course, you can filter. Let's say I only want to see results with 1,000 searches or more with a CPC of, let's say, 25 cents, for example. Then you hit generate keywords. Then the software will begin pulling back those keywords, and what you're able to do is a couple of different things that I'm going to go over in detail here. But the first new feature, and overall you will see that the columns that are highlighted in gray, we've done that to make them stand out so that you know that those are platinum features, meaning that if you decide not to upgrade to the platinum version, those columns will simply go away, and you'll always be able to have all the other columns if you decide to just stick with Longtail Pro. But during the beta period, you're allowed to use these for free without extra charge. So you can see we're on our third keyword here or so out of 5. But you now have a favorites star. So if, for example, you decided the keyword scrap metal buyers was one that you wanted to target and keep, you click on the star, and that will be removed from this list, and it'll be taken over to your favorites list. And if you just click on that tab, here you can see a couple of other keywords I've clicked on already, along with scrap metal buyers, has all the stats here, and this can be your list that you can go back to when you want to either write a blog post or build a niche site related to these keywords, or for whatever reason, however you want to use this favorites list, you now have that ability to do so. And the other column that you will see here is the average KC column. And I'm going to give the software just a minute to finish. Okay, so the software is finished pulling in all the keywords. Now, the other thing you need to look at when deciding whether or not to go after a keyword isn't just how much it pays and how many searches it gets, but you need to look at the top 10 results in Google. So let's click on this keyword, scrap metal recycling, and that takes us over to the competitor analysis tab, and very quickly all the different stats are being pulled in. And I do want to point out that a lot more data is being pulled in from SEO Moz. So now, in addition to site age and page rank, And if you ever need to know what all of these columns stand for, you can simply hover over the column and this pop-up box will tell you exactly what that column is. So there's now the Moz rank, the domain authority. The domain authority is a score out of 100 points representing the likelihood for arbitrary content to rank on this domain. There's juice page links, or the number of links to the page that actually are passing some sort of juice, or are authoritative or meaningful links. And then the total number of page links, so this includes both juice links and other links that maybe are not as powerful. And then the page authority as well. And the page authority, again, is a score out of 100 for how authoritative this particular page is to rank arbitrary content. And that phrase arbitrary content is important to understand because that means that really any content on this page is likely to rank. It's not talking about specifically the keyword targeted phrase that we're looking at. So it's not saying that this page is targeting scrap metal recycling extremely well. It's just saying that in general, any content on this page has a page authority of about 53. Now, the really exciting column is this KC column. And so I want to spend a little bit of time on this column to talk about what these numbers mean. So you'll see that an individual KC number is calculated for each of the top 10 results, and then a total average keyword competitiveness number is also calculated. So the way that we're getting this KC number is a custom formula that we developed here, and it takes the page authority, so the overall authority of the page that's provided by SEO Moz, and then it adjusts it based on how relevant this result is actually targeting our keyword of scrap metal recycling. And so it looks at a couple of different things to adjust that number. It looks at how well that keyword is used within the domain itself. So you can see that it does use the word recycling, but scrap metal isn't actually within the domain. So it would be adjusted down a little bit. And then the title is the keyword actually being targeted in the title. And in this number one result, you can see that yes, it is. It's using scrap metal recycling. So that would adjust the number up a little bit. So overall, it has an overall KC of 44, the first result. The second one, a 50, and so on as you see all the way down the line. And then these numbers are simply averaged together to give you an average keyword competitiveness of 42. So you can take a look at one number, this 42, and you'll be able to tell in general how difficult it is to rank within the top 10 results of Google naturally. And so again, we're using the page authority number provided by SEO Moz, and then we're adjusting it to how relevant this keyword actually is. So at the beginning of the presentation, I talked about two factors that are so important. You need to have page authority, and you also need to have relevancy. And most keyword tools never tell you how relevant the keyword results are. They simply tell you how authoritative they are. That's what all of these numbers, other than KC, tell you, is really just how authoritative these individual pages are. But the KC number actually takes a look at the relevancy as well and calculates that for you and spits out a number. So I do want to talk about page authority again because it is an important number. Page authority is actually, again, it's calculated by SEO Moz, and it takes into account the page links, the juice links, domain authority, Moz rank. It takes into account social signals and lots of other factors as well. So it's a very important number, and then we adjust it even more. So, and I'm going to talk about a little bit later in the presentation what this 42 number means. Is that hard? Is that easy? Is it medium? But right now I just wanted to show you how this number is calculated and really what it means. So if we come back to here to our keyword research tab, you'll see that we already calculated an overall number there. But let's say you didn't want to click on each individual keyword and go look at the top 10 results on the competitor analysis. Well, you can just click the calculate number to get the average KC of 42. So you can see the 42 there is the same as 42 here. That's what this column is for. And so you can even come through here and click on 3 or 4 at a time if you filtered down the results that you want to look at. And again, I wouldn't advise that you go through and click on 50 or 100 all at once, but clicking on a few at once is okay. And then you can quickly see which ones are easier and which ones are harder. So in this case, scrap metal prices appears to be a little bit easier, so maybe I would want to add that to my favorites. And so again, you can come through here and either, check the ones that have high search volume, perhaps. Then I could click on a few at a time and quickly see which ones might be easier to rank for based on the average keyword competitiveness. So in this case, I can see right away that free photo editing software, dog whisperer, and computer games are going to be much more difficult to rank for than license plate frames. So this might be one I want to add to my favorites. So you can see how much easier it is, and it really takes the complexity out of analyzing the top 10 results in Google. And if you wanted to get more in depth on this number, you just click on the number and that actually takes you right over to the competitor analysis tab, and again shows you the top 10 results if you wanted to do that. And then the rank checker, there's no additional features right now in the beta version. There will be additional features added to the platinum version in the future. So that's my quick demonstration of the new features of the platinum version. Let's go back over to the presentation and talk a little bit more about how things are calculated. So again, as I discussed, it's calculated based on the page authority and keyword relevancy, which isn't true for most other keyword tools. Again, the SEO Moz page authority takes into account domain authority, juice page links, Moz rank, site age, social signals, and other things. And the keyword relevancy that we're using to adjust our formula are based on page title and domains. If there's a full match, it's going to be adjusted higher, or if there's a partial match, or depending on the number of words, matching will adjust the formula. So now, the ever important question of what really is competitive? Is there a specific number I should be looking at? And before I go into this, this shouldn't be really the hard set rule, these numbers that I'm putting out here. This is just what I've seen in my own research and kind of how I feel. All of us are looking at different keywords. Some of us are wanting to target more competitive keywords that perhaps we expect to take a year or two to rank for. Others of us want keywords that we can rank right away for, and most of us are somewhere in between. So this is my own thoughts, not a rule for everyone. So if you have a 0 to 10 keyword competitiveness, essentially there's no competition there. A 10 to 20 is extremely low competition that you could rank for fairly quickly. A 20 to 30 is still low competition. It's going to take a little bit of work, but still low competition. A 30 to 40, you're starting to get into a little bit more competitive keywords. On the lower end of 30s, again, those are going to be a little bit easier. Once you start approaching 40, that's going to take a bit of work. 40 to 50 is somewhat higher competition for those of you willing to put in a lot of time and effort. These are keywords that you could potentially rank for, again, after a lot of time and effort. 50 to 60 are very high competition keywords. These aren't something that the average person should be targeting unless they expect to take a long time and they have the resources and ability to target such keywords. 60 to 70 are something that probably only large corporations and things like that would be targeting. These are extremely high competition keywords. 70 to 100 are the elite, don't even think about keywords. These are impossible to rank for. So here's some examples to really drill this point home. A 0 to 10, these are random long tail phrases and misspellings that really there's no competition for. I don't have a specific example, but they're just random phrases and either mistakes or misspellings, things like that. An example of a keyword that is a 10 to 20, this particular phrase that I have here, determine if the competition is weak. That has a 16 keyword competitiveness. And I found this keyword while looking at my own Google Analytics for nichepursuits.com. This is a keyword that I do get a little bit of traffic for, and I rank in Google somewhere near the top, first or second or third, I think. Again, it doesn't get a lot of searches, but I do get a dozen or two hits every month. It's a long tail phrase that I didn't really target, but because I happen to mention that in one of my blog posts, I'm ranking and get a little bit of traffic. That's your typical 10 to 20 week keyword that you can rank for very easily. A 20 to 30 keyword, niche business ideas. That has a keyword competitiveness of 24. And this is a little bit harder to rank for, but it is one that I currently rank number 1 on Google for, nichepursuits.com, a blog post I wrote that I haven't really built a lot of backlinks to this page. I just use this phrase in the title of my page, and now I'm ranking number 1 for that because I have a little bit of domain authority and page authority. But it's not something that's difficult. Somebody listening out there could probably outrank me with just a little bit of work. So keywords in that range are ones that you can rank for fairly easily. Once you get to 30 or 40, it's a little bit harder. Homemade chicken soup has a keyword competitiveness of 36. It's a little bit harder. Again, closer to 30 is going to be easier. Up to 40 is going to be definitely more difficult. 40 to 50, the keyword of healthcare jobs has a 43, and online nursing programs has a 48. These are difficult keywords to rank for. If you're willing to put in more work, or you have a lot of resources and the ability to generate lots of high quality backlinks, yes, you can rank for these keywords, but they are competitive. This isn't something that a typical niche site builder should be targeting. This might be a little bit too difficult. 50 to 60, the keyword kung fu has a keyword competitiveness of 54. As you know, kung fu is going to be a difficult keyword to rank for, very difficult. 60 to 70, business opportunities, extremely difficult to rank for, extremely competitive. I wouldn't advise anybody to even think about ranking for a keyword such as that. But again, if you had a few years and lots of resources, hey, yeah, maybe it's possible. 70 to 100, keyword White House has a 77, Google has a 99. These are ones you don't even touch. So for the niche website builder, ideally, if you can find something under 30, I think that's great. If you can find something under 30, I think you can rank for that keyword without too much work. Of course, it depends on the keyword specifically. 30 to 40 range is the possible range for niche sites, but you need to dig a little bit deeper and look at those individually, to look at the number of backlinks and some other things, because it will take a little bit more work. 40 and above, I personally wouldn't be building niche sites on any of those keywords, but if you have a larger blog or authority site, those are keywords that you could consider. So now, what's the difference between Pro and Platinum version of Longtail Pro? So I want to stress this, that the Longtail Pro standard version will always be available, will always be for sale. If you currently own it and do nothing, you'll still always have access to Longtail Pro that you paid for. It will always be updated and maintained just like it always has been. So you have nothing to worry about. So if the Platinum version is of no interest to you, then do nothing. Just keep using Longtail Pro. Be happy with it. I'll continue to support it, answer your questions, provide updates, all of that. Okay? However, the Platinum version is going to have those updated features, and so after the beta period, you can decide whether to upgrade or not. Right now, if you're a Longtail Pro user, or if you decide to become a Longtail Pro user, during the beta period, which is the next couple of weeks, you get to try out the Platinum features for free. And the length of the beta really is unknown. I say a couple of weeks, could be 3 weeks, could be shorter. I don't know specifically because we really are testing and getting feedback. So having said that, the current beta version doesn't include all of the planned features for Longtail Platinum. There are some additional features that we plan on adding. We plan on adding the ability to import lists of keywords and pull all the data for those only. Meaning you could import up to 10,000 keywords at once, and the software will show you all the CPC, the search volume, other data for those keywords only. It's not going to go out and generate 800 additional keywords for each of those. This is a big feature that a lot of people have been asking for because they often generate keyword lists other places or have small keyword lists that they want to just look at those only. So we've listened, we're going to be adding that. The other big feature that we want to add is the ability to automatically check and track your rankings. Right now you have to do that manually in Longtail Pro, and you'll still always be able to do that manually in Longtail Pro. But if you decide you want to upgrade to the Platinum version, you'll be given the ability to automatically, or the software will automatically check and track those, showing where you rank over time. Also, the ability to create custom calculations from keyword results. So right now we show you the CPC, the advertiser competition, search volume. If you want to say multiply the CPC times the search volume divided by 100, you'll have the ability to do that. You'll be able to customize any calculation. Instead of dividing by 100, you can divide it by 10. Whatever calculation you feel provides the most value to you, we want to put the power in your hands to do that. And then the other feature is the ability to adjust the KC calculation itself based on your own formula. And this is down the road a little bit, but the competitor analysis, we currently use our own formula. If for whatever reason you want to adjust that a little bit, we want to put the power in your hands again to do so. And there are lots of additional features planned, more data, more trends, more filters, and more of everything. I expect Longtail Platinum just to continue to grow and evolve over the years. And so this is just the early stages. And again, Longtail Pro will always have the standard features, and even it will be updated with new features and maintained. But the core features that you see at Longtail Pro right now will remain the same. The keyword research, the rank checker, and the competitor analysis. And so the software is available now in beta version. So all current Longtail Pro owners get access to the Platinum beta. They just have to open their software. They get an automatic update. Once the beta period's over, everyone will be downgraded, if you will, back to the standard Longtail Pro version. So nothing will change for you. This is just a little bonus, a little perk. During the beta period, you get to use it, the Platinum version, for free. Now, what if you don't own Longtail Pro? Well, if you buy today, you will get immediate access to the beta version. And after the beta period's over, again, you'll still have access forever to the standard Longtail Pro version. So I would recommend that if you don't own it, that you would buy now is a good time because you will get free access to the beta version, which provides exactly what I've shown in the presentation here. Anyone buying in the next few weeks will also get access until the beta period's over. So if you don't buy today and decide to buy next week, great. You will still be getting the Longtail Platinum beta version. Once the beta is over, again, you'll still have access to the Longtail Pro standard that you paid for. So During the webinar, I had a chance to answer questions, and actually during this presentation, I tailored it a little bit more to answer some of those questions. But if you have additional questions, please submit those to longtailpro.com/support. And right now, during this recording and on the webinar, I did not actually offer any special pricing. This was just an overview, informational only. So hope you enjoyed the presentation, and I recommend you go ahead and pick up Longtail Pro so you can get access to the beta version of Longtail Platinum. I look forward to hearing your feedback. Thank you very much for checking out this presentation. Thank you.